Welcome to PastPaths UK-USA, a channel where we don't rush through comparisons, but carefully explore how systems shape lives, societies, and futures. Today's topic is serious, emotional, and deeply human: the prison systems of the United States and the United Kingdom. Prisons are places most people never see, yet they reflect the values of an entire nation. They reveal how a society responds to mistakes, how it defines justice, and whether it believes people can change. In America, prisons are often associated with punishment, long sentences, and strict control. In Britain, prisons are more commonly linked to rehabilitation, reform, and preparation for return to society. But these labels only scratch the surface. Behind every prison wall are policies shaped by fear, history, politics, and public opinion. So today, we slow down and look carefully at punishment versus rehabilitation, prison conditions, and the laws that built two very different systems. What is the true purpose of prison? At its core, prison exists to protect society, but protection can mean different things. One approach believes fear prevents crime, that harsh punishment will stop others from offending. Another approach believes understanding, education, and reform reduce future harm. The United States and the United Kingdom stand on different sides of this philosophical divide, and every prison policy flows from that choice. Historical roots of the systems. America's prison system expanded during periods of rapid growth, social tension, and rising crime. Laws became stricter, sentences longer, and incarceration more common. Britain's system evolved earlier, shaped by reformers who believed punishment alone was not enough. These historical paths still influence modern prisons today. Punishment as deterrence. USA. In the United States, punishment has long been viewed as a deterrent. Long sentences send a message: crime carries consequences. However, critics argue that fear alone doesn't address why crimes happen: poverty, addiction, trauma, and lack of opportunity. Rehabilitation as prevention. UK. In the UK, rehabilitation plays a larger role. The goal is not just to punish, but to reduce the chance of reoffending. Education, counseling, and skills training are seen as investments in public safety. Prison population size. The United States incarcerates far more people than the UK. This isn't just about crime rates, it's about sentencing choices. More prisoners mean more strain, more cost, and more challenges inside facilities. Sentencing laws and flexibility. Mandatory. Minimum sentences in the US limit judicial discretion. Judges often have no choice but to impose long terms. In the UK, judges usually have more flexibility, allowing sentences to reflect individual circumstances. Daily living conditions. Prison life shapes mental health. Overcrowding, noise, and isolation increase stress. Both countries face challenges, but the UK has more centralized standards, while US conditions vary widely by state. Solitary confinement. Solitary confinement is one of the most controversial practices. In the US, it has been used extensively. In the UK, it exists but is more limited and closely monitored, reflecting concern over psychological impact. Private prisons and profit. The involvement of private companies in US prisons raises ethical questions. When profit enters punishment, priorities can conflict. In the UK, private prisons exist, but the state remains more directly responsible. Education and skill development. Education inside prison can change outcomes. UK. Prisons emphasize learning and vocational training. In the US, access depends heavily on funding and location, creating inequality even behind bars. Mental health care. Mental illness is common among prison populations. The UK integrates mental health services more directly into corrections. In the US, treatment varies and gaps can be severe. Safety and violence. High populations and long sentences increase tension. Violence becomes more likely when hope disappears. UK prisons aim to reduce tension through supervision and engagement. Prisoner rights and dignity. How prisoners are treated reflects a society's values. UK prisoners retain more guaranteed rights. US rights differ widely by jurisdiction. Life after prison. Release is not the end of punishment. Without education or support, people often return to prison. Rehabilitation aims to break this cycle, not ignore accountability, but reduce future harm. 2 philosophies, 1 question. Punishment asks, how do we respond to wrongdoing? Rehabilitation asks, how do we prevent it from happening again? The US and UK answer differently, shaped by history, fear, and hope. You've been watching PastPaths UK-USA, where we explore the systems that quietly shape millions of lives. Prisons are not just buildings, they are reflections of belief. Belief in punishment, belief in change, belief in second chances. Different countries walk different paths toward justice. Understanding those paths helps us understand ourselves. Stay with PastPaths UK-USA. There are many more stories still locked behind the walls.